Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 Hardcore Mode. Tonight it is round 12 of Season 2. We're heading to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So here we are then, ready for round 12 of our second season with AlphaTauri. And the car's in a strange place right now. It's almost there in terms of being able to challenge for points again. It's just lacking that little bit, and it's frustrating because we're knocking on the door of being able to score points again, but we just don't quite have enough talent in the cockpit at the moment to be able to really extract everything out of the car. If we had drivers of the caliber of Fernando Alonso or Charles Leclerc or Max Verstappen or Hamilton, we would be in the points by now. But because we've got young drivers, inexperienced drivers, we are just lacking that little extra bit of pace that we could extract out of the car. In its current state. We have got a brand new suspension on the car for tonight's race. Hopefully that will provide us a little bit of extra performance. It'll certainly give us a little bit of extra cooling for our brakes, which will hopefully help with tyre wear slightly. But we do need a big step forward, I think, if we're going to get these drivers to actually start consistently getting, into the top 10 again. And so to help sort that out, we've got a new front wing coming. This is a front wing that we've put a lot of hours, everything into basically. This will be ready for Zandvoort, first race back from the mid-season break. And we've also got some upgraded side pods on the way as well. These are just a minor upgrade. There's no hours put into this. This is going to give minimal improvements to the car. A little bit of extra cooling, a little bit of extra drag, a little bit of extra airflow, but essentially it's not much of a major upgrade. Everything that we can we've thrown into this wing, and this should hopefully provide us quite a nice little bit of extra performance. And then beyond that, I'm not sure where we go next. I mean, I could go with another underfloor, I suppose. That would certainly give us a big step forward in pace, but at the same time I don't want to start diverting away from being able to research for next season. So we do need to start thinking about that as well. We've got a couple of projects of that going on, as you can see. Got a chassis project and a rear wing project. And let's just take a quick look actually at how we're doing against next season's rules and regs. So chassis is going to have a dip of 7.5% in engine cooling and 22.5% in airflow. Obviously we've got our first project going through now, but that's not going to even touch those at the moment. Front wing, again, you can see big changes. It's airflow and cooling that are being affected next season. 10% on airflow, 10% on cooling, it's 30% on airflow. So we've got a lot to make up. As you can see, 25% effectively that we're going to lose on the rear wing's airflow. We take a look at the side pods. We've got one project done already. As you can see, we've made a little bit of improvement on the engine cooling, but yeah, we need to throw some significant hours into getting our car researched if we're going to really avoid taking big losses in performance in these areas next season. There you can see again, we've got our underfloor has had a project done, and we've made a little bit of gains in some areas, but again, we're a long way off dealing with the airflow sensitivity issue for next season. I'm not overly concerned about the airflow in some respects. I mean, our airflow is already pretty terrible. We've got the worst dirty air performance on the grid, so yeah, it's going to hurt us, but it's going to hurt the rest of the grid more than it's going to hurt us, that change. So maybe we don't worry about it too much. We'll certainly want to try and sort the cooling out that's definitely going to be important for us in terms of maintaining our engines and our brakes and keeping those tyre temps down next season. And if we can gain some extra downforce and a bit of extra drag reduction as the season concludes through these research projects, that sets us up nicely next year, because those will not be affected. But obviously there are, a couple of issues that we do need to address. So it's going to be tricky trying to find that right balance, I think. Got some scouts that we can use. We have been starting to scout out the grids. Have we scouted out everybody now that we need to look at? I think we have. So let's take a look at technical chiefs. Let's scout these guys out. Even though, again, we're basically looking at not being able to sign anybody for a while, and we certainly can't sign anyone from the top teams. It's nice just to have that information, see when their contracts are up, etc, etc, what kind of wages they can expect. Right, there we go. So our 4 scouts applied. Right, so let's set some targets for tonight's race. Let's see exactly where we sit to start. Are both our cars running the same? Or we got one car that's more advanced than the other? They're all running the same specs. Okay, that's good. So, car analysis shows us looking good in the high speed, decent speed, decent DRS, poor acceleration, poor low speed, average medium speed, downforce, terrible dirty air, terrible brake cooling, decent engine cooling, and a pretty light car. That's not too bad. Let's be a little conservative with the targets. Q3 is the incentive, but it's both cars in Q3. That's not going to happen. I think now that both cars have got the new parts, we should be able to get both into Q2, but we'll play it safe and just say 2 in the top 15 for that one, and then both cars into Q2 there. So that there's worth an extra 320 grand if we can pull those off. Finish position 2 in the top 12, that's the incentive. We haven't got enough pace to challenge for the fastest lap, I don't think. And then our streaks, 1 qualifying in the top 14 for 2, we're halfway through that. And then 1 in the top 14 for 5, we're doing okay there. We really need to start turning around our finishing results, because we've been retiring our cars quite a bit, which is not great. And it's certainly not doing us any favour with the board in terms of our race performance, as you can see. So we really need a race where both of our cars finish well, and hopefully this will be the first of those races in a while tonight. So let's head to Hungary.
Welcome to the beautiful Three Springs Valley, here in Hungary. You're joining us in Budapest for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Budapest was formerly 3 cities, and today they're all coming together to kick off what we hope will be a thrilling weekend of racing. The Hungaroring is one challenging succession of corners and turns. With few straights, it's affectionately known as the go-kart circuit. Drivers will have to find a proper rhythm to make the most of the layout, and for cars, low-speed downforce will be paramount. In the last round, Max Verstappen flew to victory, the Dutchman proving that he can be absolutely unstoppable when he's in such fine form. Now let's get the weekend underway.
So good evening Baron, good evening Mr. Watter, good evening Turf. Do I think they'll add F4 drivers from various country divisions into the next F1 Manager game? No, and I really hope they don't as well. There's so much more that needs to be worked on and fleshed out than adding in yet another junior formula that is just going to be there just as background information. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to improve the game, adding in F4 drivers. We don't have a fully fleshed out F2. We don't have a fully fleshed out F3. We've got a kind of simulated set of results for those championships. You know, those could be maybe improved a bit more. Academies would be a much better inclusion than adding in F4 as well. You know, it serves no purpose to add in F4 at this stage. There's so much more that needs to be done. Right, let's start off by, as always, stripping out the good bits engine-wise before I forget. There we go. We have got new parts for Oscar, or at least a new ERS, and I may run that today. I don't know. We're going to stick with this gearbox, the 68% for this first session. We'll run that one again probably in session 3, just to get the last bit of life out of it when we're on a short run. We want 20 laps for this circuit here. There we go, and onto Oscar's car. 36% engine. Our 29% ERS. There's the new one. I might save that actually for Singapore. That's probably a place where we could make up places. Okay, and once again 20 laps. There we go, and let's start putting some setups on the car. So starting with Oscar, let's go with a 9.5, a 15, a 3.7, a 2.9, and a 0.3. There we go, and as always we'll mix things up a bit with the second car. We're going to go a 9, a 15, a 1.9, a 3.4, and a 1. There we go. Right, let's send them to the track and see if either of these... Actually, let me check weather. Weather's going to be absolutely fine. Potentially quite high temperatures. That could make tyre wear a bit of an issue in the Grand Prix. Let's send them to the track for practice, and let's start getting these cars dialed in. So this is the first race in a while where both of our drivers are going to have equal performing machinery again. We may see a slight favouring of pace to Lawson again. Obviously our long-term goal is to focus on getting Oscar as good as we can, but we will not be sacrificing him to benefit Oscar at this stage, now that they're in equal machinery again, because points are the most important thing at this stage, so it doesn't really matter which of our drivers gets them as long as we get them. Oh, someone went off. That's an Alpine.
Watch for debris.
That's Ocon. Ocon is out. have 90% starting setup for Lawson. That's not bad. What about Oscar? 86. Okay, a little bit of work needed on both cars. Nothing too substantial. Hopefully we can get that dialed in and nailed in this session. Take the pressure off for the second and third practice.
How's the balance?
So what do we need to change? It's just the interior stuff, the braking, cornering and traction. So let's see. Let's try dropping that down to a 3.35. Let's go to a 3.3 and we'll push the front wing back to a 9.5. Pull that down one more as well, and let's give that a go. See how that works. Okay, so the rear wing needs to change. I'm going to go to a 14.5. Everything else is pretty close. Just go back to a 9 there, like that. Just try that. See how that works. Evening, Victor. Let's take a quick gander and see what the rest of the grid's up to in terms of engines for this Grand Prix. So, obviously the Ferrari is way out of our pace at the moment. Running older bits, nothing brand new. McLaren is definitely one that we're up against. Their engines are about the same as ours. Gearbox and ERS. Gearbox might be an issue for Yuki during the race. We're seeing a brand new gearbox for Norris tonight, but engines and ERS are about the same. Pretty strong performance from Max at Silverstone, considering his engine was, in the 60s and high 50s. New gearbox for Perez tonight. Russell is running an older gearbox. That might be an issue for him in the race. Hamilton, his engine's a little bit worse, but his gearbox is fine. Ocon, well, we don't know because he smashed his car up, so those numbers could be substantially different when we see him in practice too. Gasly is running an old gearbox. That could be a problem for him, hopefully. Albon running a brand new gearbox tonight and has got a fairly new ERS in there. Engine a little worse than ours. Strong engine for Zhou. Brand new ERS. Magnussen is not looking particularly special, but we should have more pace than him anyway. Same for Hulkenberg. And then Valtteri. New gearbox for him tonight. We should be able to outperform his car. And a very old engine for Mick. Let's have a quick look at Stroll. He's running an old engine but a new gearbox. And Alonso is running average bits. So, interesting mix in terms of performance from the rest of the grid for this weekend. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to Ocon's car. We'll have to make sure we take a sneaky peek at him in FP2. See if he has done some significant damage to his powertrain. I've got to imagine that given how he went off at that corner, it was probably a big spin into the barrier. My guess is that, you know, he did significant damage to his chassis and or suspension, which suggests if he went in backwards, he's also done some significant damage to the powertrain as well. So he could be running really, really badly damaged parts, or he could be running brand new parts. Now we will have to see. Close to getting our final bit of feedback. Oh, we have made Oscar's car worse. Maybe we've got to go 15.5 on the rear wing, not 14.5. What about Liam? 90%, so no change. That's odd. So we've probably made something better and something worse and stayed at the same kind of overall. But that's not too bad. It'll again help us nail down exactly what needs to be changed. And there you go, you see. We've figured that bit out. So we need to go to a 2.8. And let's push this in that direction like that. Let's pull that back to a 9. Actually, let's go to a 9.5. I was looking at the wrong thing that was changing there. So that needs to come to about there. And then this is what needs to change. And I'm going to push that to there, I think. Yeah, let's try that in the next session. And as for Oscar, it is a 15.5. Okay, so make that change. Let's bring that back to a... let's leave it at a 2.8. No, it's got to be a 3.7. So that we can pull this back in. Which means the front wing needs to go up. I'm going to push it all the way up to a 10. Bring that in like that. That back to there. And let's give that a try. Evening, George. I think I've seen you in the chat before. Welcome. All right, practice 2. We'll go 30 laps. The parts. Yeah, everything's fine.
Green light, green light.
Where is Ocon? Oh, he's out already. Okay, excellent. Let's have a gander at Ocon's car then. He did damage his parts. So he's had to replace his gearbox, so he completely totaled the gearbox. And that was in the 80s, I think. Engine's taken about 20%. ERS has taken a big hit as well, and that will become an issue for him in the race. So that has certainly hampered Ocon's chances of a decent result tonight. Feedback incoming. %, so big step forward for Oscar. Still a little work to do, but it's getting closer. And 94 for Liam, so again, a small step forward, but still a little bit of work to do. We'll let them run, and then we'll make some changes when they've finished the run, ready for the next session. Should be finishing their run any moment. There we go. Okay, getting closer. We can make that little tweak. Push that up a bit more. Let's try that. Okay, so going to need to pull that back to a 2.9 and hope that doesn't break everything. Bring that back to, I think, probably the 0.2. So that's our car setups prepped now for FP3. Just got to wait out the clock now for a bit. I always looked forward to this circuit in the previous iteration of this game because there was this weird... the calculation on fuel burn was wrong for whatever reason, so you would always save a ton of fuel during this race. It's been toned down this year. But, I mean, you could underfuel at the start by 3 laps of fuel and still finish with a positive fuel delta at the end of the race without doing any fuel saving at all. Yeah, it's not that, it doesn't work that way anymore, unfortunately, but this is always a race in the last version of the game where you could literally underfuel the car to get a really good launch off the line and not have to worry about fuel saving, or you could push really hard as well in the first few laps and then just do half a dozen laps of fuel saving towards the end just to get it down enough, you know, while still having a car that was definitely lighter than the rest of the grid. Let's put that old 3% gearbox in now, just to get the last bit of life out of that. I'm going to run some soft tyres. Oh, it's the ATA weekend, isn't it? In that case... I think medium soft might be the way to go in the Grand Prix, so I want to keep the extra mediums. Let's run for 22 laps. And let's see if we've actually got these setups right this time.
It should be green now. Something seems wrong. We're checking.
Alright, feedback is on its way. We should just about hit 100% on their track knowledge by the end of this run as well. And there we go. We've got Lawson set up at 100%. Excellent. That will be one for the book, I would imagine. And Oscar as well. Excellent. And that one definitely is going in the book because I don't have a 15.5 rear wing setup for this circuit. So, rub the pen. So, what we got? A 10. 15.5. 3.7. 2.9. And 0.2. It's not too far away from what we started him on. We started him on a 9.5 and a 15. So we've increased the front wing by 1 and increased the rear wing by 1. But the camber stayed the same. The toe stayed the same. Not the camber. Sorry, the roll bar and the camber stayed the same. And we dropped the toe from 0.3 to 0.2. So we weren't too far off. We just went the wrong way with our first set of changes, which made it seem further away than it was. Let's check this one. So this is a 9.5, 15 to 8, 3.1 and a 0.6. This one's already in the book. Excellent. Don't need to worry about that one. So, put the notebook away for another day. And we are done with practice. So while we're waiting out the clock, let's take a quick look at where we're going to be strong and weak, etc. So this is our circuit by speed sections. As you can see, there's only a few high-speed corners, which is where we're strongest in terms of downforce. Medium speed, we are average, which, 12th on the grid, it's not too bad. The low speed, we're not great. We're, 16th in the low speed, and there are some pretty crucial areas of the track. Turn 1, that's going to set us up for the second DRS zone. Then turn 3 sets us up for the very fast sweeping section going up the hill, and then closing out the lap as well. We've got a couple of kind of important low speed corners in the run up to the big main DRS section. Just the one detection point on this circuit, which covers both DRS zones as well. So having two low speed corners right before that DRS detection point does not help us out. But if we can get in DRS range, we do have a very good DRS, and we have very good straight line speed, so theoretically we should be able to effect some overtakes on the straight if we can get that DRS. We have got a penalty for Lawson in this Grand Prix because I stupidly forgot to clear that off before I retired him last night. I have to remember not to do that again. So wherever he qualifies, he'll be going down 3 places, unless there are other penalties on the grid as well, which I don't think there are. It's just Liam. There we go, practice is done. And you can see as Oscar's relationship with Ben improves, he's now right on the verge of getting into very high confidence. Liam has taken a bit of a knock as his relationship with Matthias Spinney has obviously degraded thanks to that email argument situation. Best.
Now it's time to see who'll come out on top as qualifying gets underway.
This weekend we're running on alternative tyre allocation rules, meaning teams will be constrained by the tyre compounds they can use for each period of qualifying.
Now there's been a bit of talk about Sergio Perez of late. How's he going to be feeling, do you think?
We saw them set an impressive lap time in practice, so it's a great start as they move into qualifying. But as we all know, a good performance in practice doesn't guarantee success over the rest of the weekend.
Buckle up then, folks. It's almost time for qualifying.
Okay then, let's get some good stuff into the car. Gearbox will be fine. We're not going to have any issues unless things start to go horribly wrong. We're not going to have any issues with parts in the powertrain for Liam this season. Not so much for Oscar, as you can see. Got one new engine left. We'll probably get him a second one at some point. We've got a new ERS waiting to be used. And we'll probably need another gearbox at some point as well. I'm going to run this for qualifying, and then we'll probably switch it out to the new one for the race. We are running ATA, so let's do one flying lap, and then we'll follow that up with another 2 flying laps, I think. Hard tyres only in this session.
Should be green. Just warm my tyres. Copy.
Mixed feelings as to how we might do today.
Just focus on the tyre temps then.
Our car on paper has some decent pace, and we should qualify quite well. But the dirty air performance is so bad, and that's really going to hurt us on top of our poor low-speed downforce performance as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I think in clean air we could do quite well. We might struggle to stay with cars in a train though.
Okay, track is clear. Charge off and push. Clear ahead. You're good to go.
Unfortunately, because we have, I think it's Alonso between us. Or is it Stroll? I'm not sure. But because we've got the Aston between us, we're not going to be able to see until we cross the line which of our two drivers is faster, because Lawson's obviously going to set purple sectors. He's the first one setting a time in each sector. But the Aston's quicker than us, so we won't know whether Piastri's sectors are quicker or slower until we get our final times. A few more corners to find out. So 1:15.397 for Lawson.
This is in lap. This is in lap.
And Piastri is, a lot quicker. Where did that come from?
Negative. Cool the engine. Copy.
Maybe he got a slipstream from Stroll. I don't think it was close enough. It was just a poor lap from Lawson. Let's get him back to the garage, refuel him and send him back out again. We should see a definite improvement from Lawson on his second lap. Not too sure about Oscar. Hopefully we will. I was hoping we get out ahead of the McLaren of Tsunoda there. Never mind. Give Oscar a bit of space. Try and avoid that dirty air issue.
Focus on preparing for the start of the lap. Copy.
Moving over to let Russell through.
There is Norris in front of you. Go. So track is clear. Good to push.
So we shouldn't have any issues with traffic at all for Lawson on this lap. I don't think we'll catch any of the cars in front if they're on cool-down laps. Obviously the McLaren in front is not on a cool-down lap, it's on a flying lap as well. Let's see where Oscar meets Russell. That might be an issue. No improvement from Oscar in his first sector. And there's going to be no improvement there, so we're just going to call him in. There's no point wasting the tyres any further than that. Lawson, though, is improving. And look at that, he's up to 5th. Quicker than George Russell at the moment. Again, our car can qualify well, but unfortunately in the race, not so much. So we're going to get our drivers set for a 2-lap run. I'm not expecting any big improvement now from Lawson. Maybe Oscar can squeeze a little bit more out of the car. We'll see what we can do. Lawson's confidence maxed out right now. Not so much for Oscar. Wasn't able to improve on his lap, and then obviously got held up by George, so we aborted it. Let's get the clock down to about 6 minutes. There you go. Just let the Alfa Romeo clear the pit lane before we go out. We'll send out Oscar first. Of the two, he is of the two of our drivers, he's the one who's at risk.
Good warm-up on brakes.
I have to say, I'm a little surprised Williams are where they are right now. I thought they'd be quicker than that.
We focus on our tyres and our brakes.
Yeah, copy.
We can push these tyres for all they're worth because they won't be used again. So hopefully, as I say, Oscar can wring a little bit more out of the car. Isn't he horrific?
So gap ahead is good. Just go. Straight out, track is clear. This is in lap.
Right, no lifting, so hopefully that Ferrari did not hold us up there. I'm not worried about Lawson. Lawson is safe. So if he doesn't improve, I'm not too worried. Would like to see an improvement out of Oscar though, if at all possible. We have already taken the best out of these tyres. Maybe there's enough left in them for a small improvement. There we go, an improvement in the middle sector. I don't know if we improved in the final sector. Did we get a quicker lap? No, we were 0.2 slower overall. A little bit down in the first and third sector. How are we slower then? By 0.2. Oh, it was the first sector. We had a poor first sector. Oh, we've got a Norris popping out right in front of us. Okay, well this could be interesting then. Given that Norris is currently in 7th place, I'm assuming that's Norris in front of us. No, it's not, it's Tsunoda. Ah, okay, Tsunoda's below us at the moment, but Tsunoda has the potential to go quicker than he's gone. We should at least be able to try and match whatever time Tsunoda pulls out, so maybe even get a slight gain on him.
You've got a good gap ahead, so you're clear to start your lap. Track is clear. Charge off and push when you want.
At the very least, we should certainly get a much improved first sector because we'll have the slipstream on both of these straights here. Oh, this is not good. That Alpine popped out. I think it's Ocon. Popped out right in front of Yuki, and yeah, that's it. No improvement now for Oscar. He's at a 27.4. Which is what he did on his last lap. That's not going to be enough. 26.1. Yeah, he's even slower in the middle sector, so I'm just going to abort this lap for Oscar. There's no point in him staying out. Lawson's not improving either, so we'll call him in. Has Oscar done enough to get through? It's going to be close. We know Ocon's about to start his flying lap. Hulkenberg's in the pits. He's out. Magnussen is out. Bottas on a flying lap, but should not be able to get through. Surely not. Schumacher is out. So it's going to come down to Bottas. He's the only one who can knock us out. Okay, Ocon is now the only car left and has the potential. That's a very quick lap from Valtteri. So it is now down to whether Ocon's flying lap is going to be good enough. If Bottas hadn't improved and got out the top 16, then it wouldn't matter what Ocon was going to do. But now that he has jumped all the way up to 13th, Ocon is in the driving seat here. Car sparking like crazy. I've noticed the cars will always do this whenever they have a big shunt in practice. You'll see them do this for the rest of the weekend, just spark like crazy. Is it enough? Damn, it is just... that sucks. So, we've lost out on earning 320 grand from the sponsors, and also we're going to have to pay, I think, 80 grand as a penalty for failing that there. That's really frustrating. Lawson all the way up in 10th place for that first run. He's got a 3-place penalty as well. Maybe I should just go ahead and get that ERS unit out the way of Oscar today. Seeing as he's going to be starting near the back. Can't believe Bottas improved by that much. Thought he might find a few tenths. I didn't think he'd find, 7 tenths.
Okay, track is clear. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
See what our opening time's going to be. And 1:14.8.
Follow the reference. This is in lap. This is in lap.
Copy.
Oh wow! Again, it's a poor first lap from Lawson. Good evening, John. Right, 2-lap run for Lawson here. First lap should get his confidence all the way up into peak properly, because it's borderline at the moment.
Copy.
And then hopefully the second flying lap will be even quicker. got to check something. Why is Valtteri so damn quick at the moment? He's not running a new engine.
There is Norris in front of you. Okay, let's go, let's go.
Nicely positioned to get a bit of a slipstream off the back of this Aston Martin. And we've gone purple in the first sector as a result. This is where it's going to fall apart a little bit. It's the dirty air through these sweeping left and rights is going to hurt us. Still relatively close though. Thought we'd have dropped back a bit more than that. Now we're into the worst part of the track for us, the double low speed. So this should be a big improvement here. It's enough to go P2 with another lap to go. And confidence fully maxed out, so maybe we can actually get Lawson into Q3 here. It's going to be fine margins though. You can see that 10th is less than half a second away from first. Alonso in 11th, less than half a second away from first. It's going to be fine margins that's going to eliminate whoever doesn't make the top 10 here. Shame, given how well we've done in this session so far. It's a shame we got that 3-place penalty. If only I'd cleared that before I retired him. Evening, Farah. Okay, we're up in the middle. But no improvement, I don't think. We did a 1:14.0. Was our best lap. Yeah, 1:14.1. We just didn't have enough straight line speed in the first sector because we didn't have the slipstream. That's a shame because we were up in the other two sectors. So that's it for us. We won't get any more out of these tyres. But we're through, I think it's safe to say. Hamilton at risk. And in the garage, is anyone on a flying lap at the moment? Ocon's on a flying lap. Could he nobble someone else's chances again this weekend? He already did it to Oscar at the end of Q1. What about Albon? He's a long way off the pace. Oh, there we go. Max is out. What the hell? Hamilton is out. Ocon is out. Can Max get through? Yes, he can. I was going to say, if Max went out as well, that would just be insane. He just got a little unlucky. He was on for an improvement on his second lap in Q1, and then got held up, and best of the tyres had gone by that point, so he wasn't able to improve enough on his final run. But Lando, Lewis, Esteban, Valtteri and Joe are eliminated. So, final qualifying. Without setting an early lap.
And good braking where you can, just warm the brakes.
Copy.
Straight out, track is clear. Okay, let's go.
Alright, we're going to get a nice clean lap. No traffic issues. Sainz coming around to start his flying lap as Max leaves the garage. Wonder if he'll get in Sainz's way. And there we go. 1:13.8 as our first lap.
This is in lap. This is in lap.
Got him into high, just into peak confidence. That'll degrade down to high by the time we get back to the garage. And we're going to fuel him up for 2 laps. and see if we can have another good qualifying session.
And brakes.
Copy that.
Once again, we've got ourselves some clear track in front. No worries about being caught from behind. Both the cars behind us are on in laps. That's Leclerc and Russell. Gasly's still yet to set a time. Crossing the line now, I think. Yep, there he is, just ahead of us. Everyone in front has just peeled off into the pits.
Track is clear.
So once again, this will be a clean
Charge
lap.
off and push.
No traffic. So Leclerc dives into the pits, and so does Russell. No improvement in the first. All the middle. Should see an improvement on the next lap though, as the fuel load comes down. Can we squeeze a little bit more in the final sector? No, we can't. Alright, well, let's see what we can do on this final flying lap. Very fine margins, as you can see, just 400ths behind Gasly, just 300ths in front of George. And don't forget, we do have that 3-place penalty. Track rubber just went up to very high. That might help. And here we go with the final flying lap.
Charge off and push.
We've been dropped down to 8th place. Someone else has improved. Here was Sainz. He's moved himself up to 3rd. We are up in the first sector. Little split coming up. No improvement in the middle. No improvement overall. It's a bit of a shame. 9th place for us, unless Albon can improve. He doesn't. So we are going to start in 12th place. And Perez sneaks pole from Max at the death.
The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
The heart may be in Budapest, but the racing soul is right here. Decades of F1 history saturate every turn of the Hungaroring, including the 1989 Grand Prix, where Nigel Mansell bullied his way from a P12 start to an ultimate victory. A sunny day here with only a few clouds in the sky. If things stay this way, the weather shouldn't pose any challenges to the teams.
Well, as we can see, the crowd here at the Hungaroring are ready and waiting, so let's get the show underway.
There it is, confirmation of the penalty carried over from Silverstone. If only I had cleared that before we retired him. Never mind. Right, let's throw in an extra 2 laps of fuel. We're going to go aggressive off the line. And Oscar is going to get his new ERS used today. We're starting in 16th, so we may as well drop him back another 3 places. Get that, well, drop him to the back of the grid. Get those, get that penalty out of the way now. And maybe get him some quick confidence by overtaking a few cars at the beginning of the race as well. 46% on the gearbox. I'm not going to take the risk. Right, let's take a look at strategy. So, could go with that. Alternatively, what might be better is that. Give us a little bit more leeway on the tyres. Let's look at doing it that way though. Okay. And I think we'll probably go the same with Oscar. Except I'm going to start Oscar on the hards, I think, given where he's going to be on the grid. Maybe I can squeeze a set of softs on for him at the end. We'll see. We'll aim for mediums, and then depending on how the race goes, we can look at potentially switching for a set of softs in the final stint. Alright, let's send them to the grid and see what we can do.
There's a fantastic atmosphere at the Hungaroring as we prepare for 70 laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Now I wonder, will things be going Lando Norris's way in this race?
Starting in the top 10 is good, but they'll need to play the race really well to not lose places.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. And here we go with the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
We can fight.
Overtake and go, come on.
Okay.
Oscar, not the only one starting on the hards. Sights is as well, but everyone else is on mediums or softs. Happy with what tonight? If I can get Lawson into the points, I'll be happy with that. He had some promising pace, but as I was saying during practice and the beginning of quali, our one-lap quali pace has always been very strong. Our race pace not quite so much, with the dirty air issue of our car. It's not ideal.
So we need one step more management.
Okay, mate, copy.
Who knows, maybe Oscar will be able to fight his way through the grid. Get himself a decent result tonight. We want both of our cars to finish in a strong-ish position tonight. We need to start, winning the board back in terms of race results. We've had far too many disappointing results this season.
Use anti-deploy, use anti-deploy.
Copy.
We need to protect the front tires.
Copy. Back off at high speed.
Yep.
DRS it needs.
So it's going to be a crucial lap for Liam, trying to stay with Norris. So I saved a little bit of battery so we can turn it on towards the end of the lap. Make sure you stay in the DRS zone. Hopefully we can get Oscar off a place or two on this lap, or the next lap. Got to be wary of tyre temps. It's going to make or break our chances in the race.
Use and deploy when you can.
Copy.
Oscar getting close to the back of Yuki. And Lawson will just stay in DRS range of Norris, who might not have got the DRS. He didn't. Okay, so we've got a chance to overtake Norris here. Although he is on softs, so that's not a great chance. We can at least make sure we stay close to him.
Recharge on. Recharge on.
Copy, box.
And Oscar's definitely on a very slow compound of tyres compared to everybody else, so him not gaining positions immediately, not the worst thing.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
And here's where the lack of pace against the soft is going to start playing into things. Again, we can't afford to push the tyres if we want to make our strategy work. So we'll have to cede the position to Ocon.
Charge on.
Copy.
As long as we can stay with him, we'll be good. Confidence is still very high, as you can see.
Charge on.
And this is where the real test of just where our car is going to do, how well our car is going to do today, is really going to come to the fore, is how easily Ocon pulls away from us. As I said, our dirty air performance is awful, combined with really bad, well, not really bad, but 16th on the grid in terms of low speed performance. It's going to make staying in range very tricky. And yeah, Joe muscling his way through in an unexpected position on the track. That's frustrating, but we're still okay. We're still just above starting level of confidence. We'll not go into harvest this time. We'll stay with Joe, see if we can get the place back. Everyone else is pushing their tyres a little hard at the moment. Got to keep ours in check. Our tyre wear rate is worse than some of our rivals around us. Joe did manage to get back into DRS just. It's frustrating. We're going to lose out to Joe as well. He's going to go. He's gone already. Just have this inability to follow anybody in the dirty air. Joe's absolutely flying right now. He's all over the back of Ocon. He's pushing like crazy. Tyre temp's still a little too high. Just need to cool them down a touch.
Back off.
Oh, we've got a yellow flag. As we get passed by Valtteri. Again, we're getting caught in really awkward places here.
Now this was Valtteri Bottas.
I know he's on soft tyres, but
And they squeeze by.
just gets us there at the chicane. And all that promise we had in quali is just gone. Also now down into medium confidence.
Okay.
Never did see what caused that yellow flag, but I'm guessing it was a mistake from Magnussen. It's backed up this little pack here in front of Oscar.
need to push harder on tires. They are looking good now.
This might sound silly, but I think what might be the best option for us is just to stay outside of the DRS and keep the tyre temperatures under control. When we get into that dirty air, it pushes the temps up. You can see Oscar's temps only just coming down now.
We think we can lean on the tyres more. Copy.
Track temperatures 47 degrees. It is very high. It's going to melt the tyres if we stay in the dirty air too long. Maybe just have to use our performance in clean air. Keep the tyres in good condition. See if we can pull back some pace as the rest of the grid's tyres fall off. Front wing with the better brake cooling is certainly going to be useful for us. Let's see what kind of paces Magnussen will do on this lap. Lawson was a 120.8 and 120.7 for Magnussen, so he's slowly gaining, but not by much. He's still a couple of seconds behind. Oscar now out of DRS range. Yeah, I'm going to play the long game here. I'm going to try and just keep our tyre temps under control. And you can see just a little bit of temperature creeping back into Oscar's tyres for a moment then. Wait for the track to come back to us. Temperatures are going to be track temperatures are going to stay high all the way through. I think I can't see them dropping down. You can see we've got sunshine forecast for pretty much the whole race here. So it is going to come down to effective tyre management. You can see Schumacher's tyres already taken a beating. Same for Gasly. Not quite as much for Ocon. Our tyres looking pretty good right now, which is especially impressive when you consider how poor our drivers' smoothness ratings are. And this is where the race will come back to us, I think, as the opposition's tyres fall away. We should hopefully start to close the gap up and then be in a position to actually get some overtakes done. Oscar's tyre temps just creeping up just a bit. Slow lap for Lawson last lap, a 121.3, lost 0.6 to Magnussen. Consistency in a lap-by-lap pace for our drivers is also a factor. Their accuracy, not the highest. means that their lap times will fluctuate. Wilson has recovered his confidence back to just about starting level. Oscar still in very high confidence. Not quite sure how he's managed to stay that high. But we'll take it. That means if we can just get one overtake done for Oscar, that should get him into peak confidence. Lose more time to Magnussen. I think Magnussen's starting to push. Let's just give Lawson whatever battery we've got left. It's another slow lap for Liam. Going to keep slowly building the battery with Oscar. Take a little bit of more temperature out of those tyres. Drop them down an extra degree or two, so they're not borderline overheating every lap.
Pick up the pace a bit.
Yeah.
There we go, we're closing back up to the cars in front a little bit and just re-establishing the gap back to Kevin.
Recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
Again, just want to stay just a little outside of that dirty air for now. Tsunoda fights with Schumacher, gets past him. Valtteri and Magnussen have pushed their softs very hard. They're going to be boxing pretty soon. As Hulkenberg gets past his teammate now. Briefly. It's too early to make predictions about who's going to win what next season. We haven't even seen the cars in testing yet, let alone, you know, first racing conditions to get a genuine idea of what kind of pace everyone's going to have next year. Lawson's temp's starting to creep up a little bit. Hulkenberg has got past Kevin, is now pushing away. Oscar starting to close in on Schumacher now, whose tyres are definitely struggling. So we're going to start to make a move on Schumacher.
And energy is available.
Copy.
Magnussen now dropping behind Tsunoda. So Kevin's definitely falling away. We want to make sure we can try and get a move on him before he pits, if at all possible. Just hammer that confidence of his a little bit more. Give ours a bit more of a boost. Bottas starting to drop back as well now. His soft tyres also taking a bit of a hit. Wasn't just below his curve there. Oscar as well. Piastri now into range.
Bring the pack up. Go.
And Tsunoda's now on a push. He's fought his way past Hulkenberg.
Pressure of the overtake.
Copy.
Yuki is going to have DRS on us. So I'm using the battery just to try and make sure he stays behind us. And here comes Oscar. Gets the move done on Schumacher, and that gets him into peak confidence. Nice. So, now we can see Oscar trying to move up through the order a little bit. Closing in onto the back of Valtteri. Hopefully we can jump him at the end of the lap. Give Lawson a confidence boost.
On tires, we are good to push one step more.
Yeah, copy that.
Make sure we get that DRS. Push the tyres a little bit hard for half a lap. And it's broken us away from Yuki as well, which is nice.
Okay, mate.
So we need to back off.
Copy.
And we get Valtteri into turn 3.
Overtake button.
Copy box.
No.
Recharge on.
Copy.
Cool those tyres down. Magnussen's going to be boxing at the end of this lap, I think. Let's give Oscar a little bit more.
And you can lean on tyres.
Valtteri might be boxing as well. Both the Haas drivers could be boxing at the end of this lap. That'd be interesting. Look at this, we're in the dirty air. Our tyres went into big overheat there, even on this lower push, as Charles Leclerc is the first driver to box. So here we go with Valtteri. No, Valtteri stays out. And I think we just lost the DRS there as well. We did. That's the combination of the dirty air performance, along with our lack of low speed performance as well, really hitting home. Oh, what a... Oh, come on! God damn it. A red flag. Is that us out?
Red flag.
Magnussen just hit us and took us out. God damn it.
Now this was at turn 1. Cutting it so close. The car's coming together right
Magnussen just
there.
broke our chassis
Who was
or
at
our
fault?
suspension.
Well, there'll definitely be fingers being pointed.
And I see sparks coming as well, which means powertrain issues. We've just put a brand new ERS in that car. God damn it. Just cannot catch a break this season.
A sense of deja vu here as the drivers once again face the countdown. And it's lights out and away we go.
Use deploy, use deploy.
Going to protect our tyres here on this opening period. How did Oscar get the... What the hell? Come on.
So let's push.
Okay, copy.
I'm really worried about how much damage has been done to Oscar's car now. Make that a straight retirement. It didn't look that bad an impact in some respects, but okay, well, we've got a good restart here for Lawson. Got him into peak confidence nice and early. Although we are burning the battery to do it. No way to go on that one, unfortunately. Taking us back out of peak again.
Recharge on. Recharge on.
Copy.
I mean, you could argue Oscar maybe could have left a touch more space, but I think that was Magnussen's fault. Looking at that, and I know there's going to be a degree of bias, but I don't think that was Oscar's fault.
Use deploy as much as you can.
Copy.
Now we can push one step more on tires.
Yeah, copy.
DRS renewables.
Have to wait till the end of this lap, I think, to get past Valtteri. Oh, then again, maybe not.
Copy.
Use deploy.
Beautiful move. Beautiful move.
Okay.
All right. Let's get it completed. There we go.
Copy.
We need to protect the front tires.
Make sure we stay in DRS with Gasly.
Charge on.
Alright, so let's settle in. Again, I'm trying to protect our tyres in this stint.
One more step on tyres. Can push one step more.
Yuki pushing up behind us on softs. I want to try and make sure we don't lose a place to him. Can we stay in range of Gasly? Just about. Just about.
Recharge on. Recharge on.
Close. Might have to ease off on the tyre saving for another couple of laps. Gasly is going to be vulnerable. Yellow flag. That's a red flag. What is going on?
Red flag, red flag.
That's Valtteri.
Now we're approaching turn 2. And unable to do anything about that.
Is that Magnussen pushing him into the barrier?
That won't do their confidence any good.
What is it with Kevin Magnussen tonight? I bet he escapes that as well.
As for the team back in the garage.
What do I do with strategy now? I guess I stay on the same tyres. Oh yeah, Magnussen's already out, isn't he? That's a Hulkenberg. But it's Haas. Haas again, just like last version of the game. Haas are just vicious. They'll take you out at every opportunity. Ah dear. Yeah, I guess we stay on the same tyres. We're going to end up with so much fuel, and that's not going to help keeping the tyre temps under control, trying to burn off that extra fuel. We really don't have much option in the way of tyres.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
And that's reset our confidence again as well, which is the annoying thing.
Slow down.
Yeah, copy that.
Charge on it.
Yeah, copy.
I mean, it would be great if this was a war of attrition and we could pick up points that way, but all the cars that are retiring are behind us. So quite a few other teams stayed on the same tyres, although some drivers switched. Sonoda switched from those softs onto the new mediums. Joe switched, Ocon switched, Hamilton switched, Hulkenberg and Schumacher also switched.
correction of the vertical.
Let's start pushing the battery. Which track in this game is recommended to do the DRS defense? It doesn't really work in this game. I've tried it on a few different tracks and it just doesn't really seem to work. The faster car will eventually always find a way through.
We push on tires.
Copy.
We need to cool the car.
Copy.
Back off, back off, back off.
Okay, mate, copy.
And recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
Overtake battle.
And Gasly suddenly starts to push, gets himself alongside his teammate there.
Push 2 steps harder.
Copy box.
Right, we've got a little bit of leeway on these tyres now against the curve, but we did miss out on the DRS and we are going to be vulnerable to a lunge from Tsunoda. He's going to get us. That's frustrating.
Recharge.
Copy that.
Looks like Ocon's just attached wheels to the road, sparking like that. Yeah, it's a weird visual bug. Whenever someone has a big shunt in practice, they tend to spark like crazy for the rest of the weekend. I've noticed that on quite a few different races. Of course, Ocon, hit the barrier and totaled his car in FP1. Or was it FP2? No, it was FP1.
Recharge on.
Okay, copy.
So we need to back off.
Yeah, copy, copy.
It looks like this race is going away from us again. Once again, things just conspiring against us. A ridiculous DNF in that collision with Magnussen, which apparently was our fault, even though it didn't look that way. And the red flag, immediately killing any tactical advantage we had on our tyres with Lawson. And then another red flag, almost immediately after that, again, hurting us tactically. And now we're down in 15th place and falling away. Not sure what's happening to our pace, but it's good in comparison to everyone else at the moment. And I have to say, much as it pains me to say it, I think the problem is the drivers. Both of them just don't have the skills at the moment to extract anything out of the car. Which makes me think, instead of going for Schumacher, maybe we need to bring in someone with a bit more experience to replace Lawson. Maybe Ocon, if he's available. Maybe Gasly. I think he's still young enough. Don't want to bring Yuki back. For 2 reasons. One, it's going to cost too much money to break his contract with McLaren. B, he's quick, but he's inconsistent. Maybe Albon, if he's not too expensive, might be a decent shout. Yeah, I was thinking about Schumacher for next season, but pace-wise, he is slower than Lawson, although he's a little bit more consistent than Lawson, but he's still not amazing. We'll have to really look over the driver market after this Grand Prix. Start looking at direct skill comparisons and see where we can find a hidden gem that falls within our comparisons. Not comparisons, our allowances, in terms of age and rating. Albon definitely falls inside the rating. I don't know if he'll fall inside the age though. I think he should just about do it. Ocon, I think, is going to be pushing it on both fronts. Gasly might be a little bit too highly rated. I'm not going to chop and change my drivers, halfway through the season like we did with Lawson to De Vries last year. Lawson and Oscar is our lineup for the rest of this season. But yeah, we just don't have pace. I think part of that is also down to the lower confidence, which has just been hammered again, having just got it back up to starting level. Can we stay with Schumacher? Oh, look at our tyres. Yellow flag. Is that Hulkenberg with an accident? I know he's on hard tyres. No, it's Sainz running wide. I know Hulkenberg's on hard tyres, but he must have damage to his car as well to be that far off the pace, this early. This was a race where Oscar would have had a real chance to come back through the field. And, Lawson, by looking after his tyres in that first stint, would have given us a chance to try and gain a couple of places before the pit stopped. He was in peak confidence as well when that red flag happened. And it's just all gone downhill from there. It was not even in range of Schumacher at the moment. This race has gone away from us in a bad way. What have I got left in terms of options for tyres? So we've got a brand new set of softs. We've got a brand new set of hards. We've got a set of worn hards and a set of worn mediums. I wonder. I think we might have to try and turbocharge our pace a little bit by going for a 3-stop.
Stay close to the car in front.
We don't have another set of softs. We've only got one new set of softs. Another yellow flag. Someone running wide? Yeah, Gasly. Well, we can at least get ourselves back past Schumacher here.
Charge on.
Yeah, copy that.
Recharge on. Recharge on.
5 seconds off of Ocon. That's not good. We're going to absolutely hammer these tyres for the next couple of laps. Go for an early stop. Undercut drivers like Gasly and Albon. Even to a degree Russell and Sainz. Although I don't think we're going to have the pace to stick with them. We know that this car can be quick in clean air and on a push like this. If we can keep Lawson's confidence up, yeah, maybe we can get lucky. Schumacher is staying with us though. Did not expect. I knew he was going to close up on the DRS straight, but I mean, he's still right there. Not even close to dropping him.
Box.
Copy box.
it's frustrating to see us just go backwards in the Grand Prix every single race. We have a good qualifying, we get ourselves into a strong starting position, and then it just all falls apart, either through bad luck or just inconsistency. Right, Max is boxing. What's he going on to? It's just got to be hard tyres for him, surely. It is. That's a good stop as well. We need a strong, fast stop here. If we get a bad stop now, that's going to kill any chance of an undercut, I think. .4, that's good. That's definitely top 10 worthy.
Overtake button.
Copy.
And kind of annoyingly, we came out a couple of seconds ahead of Hulkenberg. I was kind of hoping we'd come out right behind him and then get a quick overtake on him and get a confidence jump that way, but never mind. At least we're not going to get held up by him. So it looks to be about 18 seconds for a pit stop.
A small lift off to the tires.
Copy.
Just looking to see how much our tyres are going down compared to Max's. About the same at the moment. Perez boxing now. This again will surely be hard, and will probably be hard to the end. Not a bad stop.
No DRS available, no DRS available.
Okay, mate, copy.
Recharge on.
Copy.
And 1:18.1. So we are closing on everybody up to and including Hamilton. But we have got another stop to make, whereas Perez and Max are probably going to the end. And anyone else who boxes soon will probably also do the same if they have soft set of hards available. I'm not sure what Sainz is going to do as Russell boxes, because Sainz started on hards, don't forget. He was the only other driver to start on hards with Oscar. So his hard tyres are gone unless he puts used hards back on later. Decent stop for George. Not amazingly quick, but clean. Another 118. Oh no, wait, we haven't crossed the line yet. A 119 one this time. Now we're quicker than everybody up to and including Ocon. Max on that 118.3 there. Never going to catch Max or Perez. Doubtful we'll even catch George. But we've definitely already jumped Schumacher. We are closing in, and we'll probably jump Gasly. Yuki, maybe. Albon, quite possibly. He might be boxing this lap, actually. He's certainly getting swamped at the moment. Perez swarming all over the pair of them. Albon going another lap. We'll get DRS to go back at Tsunoda here. So we want him to get through, because that'll slow Tsunoda down for another lap. And instead, Perez is just going to go straight round the outside of him. Look at that. How easy was that? We might even get Yuki at the chicane here. Gets him on the exit. Yep, there we go. He's through. Max absolutely flying right now. Look at that. Into the purple sector as Charles Leclerc boxes. So this will be hards to the end. It's a slow stop. 1:16.7, new fastest lap for Max, and what a hell of a fastest lap it is as Perez goes flying past Ocon. He was fighting Yuki at the chicane. Look how far ahead he is already. Perez absolutely flying. I mean, we're doing some pretty good times compared to the rest of the guys in front of us. Inconsistent times as we keep flitting from 118s to 119s. It's so maddening just to see our car look so good in qualifying and then just be so inconsistent in the race. Here we go. This is an interesting pit stop. As I said, Sainz has already used up his hard tyres, so mediums maybe? Yeah, mediums, but I don't know if they'll last. If they do, they'll be really, really ragged at the end. Albon's in. So, we should jump Albon here. Albon's going hard, so that'll bring him to the end. Clean stop. There we go. Scooching on through, so we're up to 15th. Another 119 for us. About 6 seconds off the back of Schumacher now, so we were, what, 17 seconds? 17 and a half seconds behind when we came out of the pits. We've closed at 12 seconds so far. Norris boxes from second place. Puts Alonso into the lead. With Stroll in second. A 1-2 for Aston right now. It's not going to last. The Red Bulls will retake that. Gasly boxes. And we should jump Gasly. Schumacher boxes as well. So again, hard tyres to the end for Gasly. And we are now up to 13th place. Hard tyres to the end for Mick. So we're about 15 seconds off the points right now. And Norris will be going to the end on those mediums. But we do have that set of softs. We'll be brutally quick in the closing stages. Maybe even fastest lap quick. As Max is up to third now. 4 seconds, well, less than 4 seconds off the back of Stroll. Lapping over a second faster than Alonso and 0.6 faster than Stroll. He's going to be into the lead very, very soon. We are quicker than Yuki. 1.3 seconds on that last lap. Right, Yuki under pressure. He gets passed by Tsunoda and Norris is right there with him as well. Yuki's tyres dying a death. He might be in at the end of this lap. Hamilton might be in at the end of this lap as well. Hamilton stayed out. Yuki scrapping with his teammate, stays out. But yeah, those two are pitward bound very soon. Zhou and Ocon will be pitting soon. Then Stroll is another one who's going to be pitting soon. Alonso not too far off. I honestly have no idea where we're going to finish in this Grand Prix. But taking 2 seconds out of Tsunoda is quite nice. And that is Hamilton into the pits. So, this is mediums for Hamilton. He's on mediums at the moment. No, it's hard tyres. It's a clean stop. It's not a quick stop, but it's a clean stop. Whole heap of cars going through. Hamilton is going to the end. And should have decent pace at the end as well. He's got room to push those tyres if he needs to. Still taking time out of Yuki, who's got to be boxing very soon now. 12 seconds behind him, so we've pulled some of the gap down a bit. What tyres is he going to go on to? Is he going to go hards? double red flag certainly threw everyone's strategy plans out the window. Staying out another lap. Hamilton's closing, he's just 3 seconds behind him. Yuki's tyres are shot. $118.9 for us. When are we due to stop? 5 more laps.
Flat out.
Copy that.
Let's give these tyres everything for the last 5 laps. Hamilton and Sainz are just hauling him in hand over fist right now. We need to do the same while we can. He stays out another lap. Okay, this is going to hurt his confidence. It's also going to slow him down on this lap. Hamilton's just going to breeze past him on this straight. It's not even going to be a challenge. So no time lost really in that fight. Maybe this one with Sainz though. Gap is still coming down. It's about 8 seconds now. We might be fighting with Tsunoda for 12th place in this Grand Prix. I don't know. I don't think anyone behind us has got to stop, apart from Hulkenberg, who is pretty much out of contention anyway. And he's a minute behind Schumacher. Sorry, no, he's not a minute behind Schumacher. He's a minute off Alonso. The Stroll boxes. Surely Yuki's coming in this lap. Yes, he is. So, what tyres is Tsunoda going on to? He's gone through a whole range of tyres. Don't forget, he switched to reds, to softs for the first red flag, and then went on to mediums again for the second red flag. He's gone back to softs. But are these new softs? Or are these worn softs? I don't know. We're through and off down the road. Stroll's on new softs, and it is new softs for Yuki as well. So who is left to stop? Alonso. Ocon, who's in the pits now, will jump him, but he will not be stopping again after this. So we will lose position again. He's going soft to the end. Alonso has been overtaken by Max. So Max back in the lead, and Alonso's going to drop about 19 seconds behind him after his pit stop. We're up to 11th on a temporary basis. Only 6 seconds ahead of Ocon at the moment. Yeah, let's have a look who's behind. So I think our fight is going to be with Yuki for 12th. I think more realistically our fight's probably going to be with Albon for 13th. Where's Zhou? He's not too far ahead. He's not boxed yet. A 1:16.7 for Norris. Immediately beaten by Stroll. A 1:15.9. So yeah, Zhou is 13 seconds ahead of us. That might be a bit too much of a gap. Now Yuki sets a new fastest lap, a 1:15.8. Yuki can set a fastest lap. There's a chance that we can with Lawson here. And Zhou under pressure here from Stroll and Hamilton. That's going to make him go defensive. It's going to make him go even slower. Staying out another lap. Good stuff. And I think you're going to see both Stroll and Hamilton getting very quickly here. I thought Hamilton was going to squeeze up the inside at turn 1 there. But he'll get him at turn 3.
Box.
There he goes. So Zhou's definitely going to box this lap, I think. Same as us. We're about 10.5 seconds behind him. Gap's coming down with every corner. Ocon is catching us as well, so this is definitely the right time to box before we get passed by the cars behind, which will kill our confidence again.
So we need one step more management.
Copy box.
Right, let's have another good stop here. I think we're going to come out behind Schumacher. Very close. 2.5, slower than the first stop. Now we're going to get out just ahead of Schumacher again. There we go, brand new soft tyres, 15 laps to go. Seconds off of Gasly. Zhou hasn't stopped. He's still out there. Alright, so we can get a really quick couple of laps if Zhou stays out again. I mean, I don't think he would. No, there he goes. I was going to say, if he stayed out one more lap, we could eat a huge amount of time out of him, but we still will on this lap, but even so, we're not going to be close enough to undercut him. Not unless he has an issue at the pit stop. No issue.
to open the gap, push to open the gap.
Copy.
We're only 5 seconds behind him though. He's got to get his tyres warmed up, and we're going for it for our fastest lap here. So we should close the gap a bit on this lap. Down to 3 seconds. Yellow flag. It's Joe. He made a mistake. I don't know what he did, but he made a mistake.
We need to do lift off.
Okay, copy.
Charge on.
Yeah, copy.
Use deploy as much as you can.
Copy.
So, up to 14th. Confidence now back into the very high category, so +4s. Going to keep pushing on this lap, try and go purples. If we can sneak that fastest lap, it's not going to be worth anything actually. We're not going to get in the top 10, I don't think. And we didn't pick up the fastest lap guarantee. So this is purely just a pride thing. But if by some miracle we can sneak into the top 10 and we have got the fastest lap, that'll double our point too. One purple. There we go, fastest lap. What did we do? 1:14.7. Wow, that is quick.
You are the fastest.
That is very quick.
We need to protect the front tires. Charge on.
Bring those temps down.
Back off.
We just briefly flitted into peak confidence, but it's dipped back down to very high again. But it has given us the +5 for the important stats, the accuracy, braking and cornering. We should be able to close up Gasly here. Should. Given that he's on hard tyres, he's probably pushing this lap because he knows we're coming. Let's see, did a 1:17.9 last lap. What's he going to do this lap? I'd like to think we're probably secure on that fastest lap of the 1:14.7. Yeah, Gasly found another 7/10. He was definitely pushing there. Yeah, the AI is very good with batteries on this difficulty. Derek. Gasly's still pushing. I'm not really closing him down yet. Getting a little bit more temperature out of the tyre before I start pushing again. See what Gasly does across the line. Closing in on Albon. We took a second out of him on the last lap. a couple of tenths this lap. But we did close half a second off of Gasly. Why do I not use the option? What option? Like allowing ERS auto. You've lost me. Oh, hello, yellow flag. I thought I heard someone hit a barrier actually.
There's a yellow flag now.
Hamilton and Stroll. Oh, just a little knock there. That's damage to Hamilton's wing, though. Oh, you mean battle assist? I'm not a big fan of battle assist. Because you hold battery back in reserve, so you know, for when you're you know, in a fight. But when you, which is great when you're in a fight, but when you're not in a fight, you're just not using the full amount of battery that you could use. So you'll charge up a little bit quicker, but you're also going slower.
Charge on.
Okay.
It's like always defend. You know, it's great if you're in a dogfight with someone, but if you're not and you're in clean air and there's no one around you, you're still in that command setting, so you're still losing time every lap while you're in always defend.
Recharge on. Let's push now, the tires is good. Recharge on.
Alright, so 4.5 seconds behind Lawson, who is on aging hard tyres. We might get Albon. Beyond that, maybe Yuki. Don't think we'll get Ocon. Not unless someone does some damage to their car. But Albon and Tsunoda are definitely achievable here. We're only, what, 3.5 seconds behind Albon now. He's only a second and a half behind Tsunoda. So 11th place is definitely on. Assuming we can hold off Gasly here.
6 laps to go.
Do need to save a little bit of fuel at some point. I'd really like to be able to shake Gasly here,
Push flat
who
out
is
as much
pushing
as
to
you
try and stay with us. So we're going to push even harder, break away.
we need more liftoff.
5 more laps.
So we need to back off.
Alright, 4 laps to go.
Four laps to go.
Albon is through.
You can
Make
push
sure we
harder.
get into Yuki's DRS here.
Stay close to the cars in front. A small lift off 12 the tires. Three laps to go.
Copy.
Oh, I thought we had him up the inside for a second then. Not quite. Yeah, our best bet here is just to get 11th place and hope something happens to one of the cars in the top 10.
Lift now.
Copy.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Right, let's get this moved on up the inside here. Beautiful stuff.
2 laps to go.
Oh, god damn it, a collision.
Recharge on.
Let's kill our confidence. That's killed as well, I think, any chance we had of getting Albon now.
Is that Yuki Tsunoda? Now we should be able to take a look here. So here we go, heading into turn 1. Now there's an inviting opportunity there. Oh, that's quite an impact between
Well, that's
them.
got to be
And there'll
Yuki's
be
fault
more
if
than
it was
one unhappy team after
Piastri's
that.
fault in his collision.
Recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
Push.
Copy.
If we get a 5-second penalty now, I'm going to be pissed. No penalty. Okay, well that's something. How you doing, Ruben? We've killed our chance of getting 11th place from Albon there, I think. Unless we get really lucky on this lap. We've got no battery to capitalise with. Evening food? Or should I call you Doof? Is Lawson still getting replaced? He is, but not sure who we're going to use, who we're going to replace him with.
Max Verstappen
Albon is
over the
currently the
finish
driver that I'm
line
thinking
and
about
today's
now.
winner.
If he's within the tolerances of the additional rules. Wow, Zhou's come from nowhere. There he is, just flying up. Another lap and we'd have been passed by him. Alright, well, we'll take 12th. It's not bad. It's not where I wanted us to finish, obviously. But, again, just there's glimpses of pace there. Maybe Zambot will be better for us. I think we could do quite well, potentially, at... again, the dirty air is going to be an issue, but given that we've got good high-speed performance and we've got pretty good straight line speed and a pretty strong DRS, we could do quite well at Spa tomorrow night. Who knows? Maybe we might sneak a point there.
That's a really miserable day for Oscar Piastri.
That'll be quite a blow having to cut their race short, but they'll be doing everything they can to come back stronger.
And no doubt, Verstappen fans will be celebrating the Dutchman's achievement.
That's their 9th win of the season. I expect them to be showered with plaudits and more.
Piastri got
well,
taken out in a collision with
for
Magnussen that looked entirely Magnussen's fault, and yet we're the ones who got the penalty for it.
And down there in the Alpha Tauri garage, Karun, what would they be making of that race, do you think?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And that then marks the end of our time here in Hungary.
Next time, the teams will be adding another year to the legend of Spa-Francorchamps. anything can happen at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Well, there we go, and then confirmation of the final result. Another win for Max. That's win number 9 from 12 races. He is just steamrolling his way to the title. Perez in second, Leclerc third, Russell up to fourth. Good race for Norris. Up 5 places to finish in fifth. That's put McLaren firmly out of distance of us now, as if they weren't already. But with an extra 10 points there. Disappointing race for Alonso. He left it very long to make that final stop. Maybe he just didn't have the tyres available, thanks to those 2 red flags that we had. Decent result for Hamilton, despite having that little collision with Lance. He's up 4 places. Bad race for Sainz. Ocon getting up 3 places to finish in the top 10. There's Albon in 11th. We finished 12th with the fastest lap. And then scrolling a bit further down, terrible race for Gasly, down 7 places. And DNFs for Valtteri, Magnussen and Piastri. In the Drivers' Championship, 70-point lead for Max now over Perez. And then another big gap all the way back to Charles Leclerc. It's close in the battle for third at the moment between Leclerc and Alonso. Leclerc gaining 7 points over Fernando tonight. Russell lurking a little bit in the background, may possibly be able to challenge for third. Sainz not looking like it's going to happen for him. Stroll a long way off in 7th as well, just 4 points behind Carlos. Those two are going to have a bit of a scrap by the look of it. Again, not a great race for Lewis. 71 points. It's not been a great season for him. This might be the last season of him being really any kind of competitive. I can see his stats degrading. We'll check him out afterwards. Ocon in 9th place there, and big jump forward for Norris. 10 points gained, brings him within 14 of Ocon, and comfortably clear of Gasly now, who failed to score. And there we are with 3 points for Lawson, 2 for Oscar, still down in 15th and 16th. In the constructors, once again, big points for Red Bull. A 1-2 means that they are now 267 points clear of Ferrari. It's a big gap. Ferrari and Aston still very close, scrapping away there. Mercedes keeping a watching brief in 4th. McLaren starting to hunt down Alpine. That'll be an interesting little battle there. We are still languishing 12 points behind Williams in 8th place. But we did have the second fastest pit stop tonight, so that will, although we're still losing ground, to Red Bull, that'll keep us clear of McLaren just about. They're also scoring 18 points tonight. Ferrari will have closed the gap a bit, but they are still in 4th place, so we are holding on to 2nd place in the pit stop challenge so far. I don't think we're going to be able to defend our title this year in the pit stop challenge, but if we can get 2nd, I will be happy with that. In terms of our sponsors, well, we missed out on 320 grand of income and actually had to pay 80 grand in penalties because we failed to get both cars into Q2, but everything else was achieved. We come out with 2.8 million. Hospitality level is refurbed. Spare chassis is done. Spare front wing is done. And Lawson goes up to an 80 overall. Let's check our inbox. So, yeah. A rear wing failure on Liam's car. And a new chassis, a new suspension, and a new front wing destroyed. Well, an old front wing destroyed on Oscar's car. I'm worried about his engine. It's down to... It's worked out okay. Engine's at 64%. So that took a little bit of a knock. Nothing too bad. ERS lost a couple of percent. Gearbox lost a couple of percent as well. But not too bad. And at least we got his, well, I say we got his penalty out of the way. He's got another one. So that's frustrating. Recommendation to look at Kushmaini, which I'm not going to do. Arthur Leclerc gets the win in the F2 race ahead of Vesti and Staniek. And it's Aaron again, second race in a row where he tops the F3 podium ahead of Anishi and Sorse in the F3 race. So, are we going to lose our extra engine parts? No, we're going to keep them. Thank God for that. The majority of teams saw sense and voted against giving back the extra engine parts we were given this season. Thank God for that. It's quite unusual actually to see that regulation vote come up twice in a row. So I'm quite glad that we managed to hold that one off and not give those parts back. Right, let's sort out the cars. There we go. So no spare chassis now. And one spare front wing. However, I do not have a spare suspension. So we'll have to go back to the previous. For Liam there, I think. It's not major difference, as you can see. It's mainly just the brake cooling that's affected. And a touch of weight as well. Right. Need to build more chassis. Not going to get a spare one in time for Spa, unfortunately. What else are we low on? Suspensions, which I think we're still building anyway. Yes, we are. Got one about to drop, and then another one in 11 days in total. You can see 3 days, so we will get a replacement suspension in time for Spa. That's good. We can put that back onto Liam's car again. Yeah, and no parts now until Zandvoort. So let's start looking at some drivers. So I wanted to have a quick look and just see what is going on with Hamilton. Where is he? He's down to there now in the driver standings. So he's slipped behind Norris and Perez and Russell and Leclerc. Everyone else has improved. He has stayed the same. Potentially has degraded a slight little bit. Mark Slade is his engineer. That just seemed weird to see Mark Slade at Mercedes like that. Still a very quick driver. Just no longer one of the very, very quick drivers. So let's take a quick look. Gasly is too old. We can't sign Gasly. We can't sign Russell because he's at Mercedes. Plus, I don't think he'd want to join us anyway. Let's take a look at age. So everyone above... we can't sign Ocon either. So everyone above there is out of our reach. Max, there's no way he'd join us. Plus, again, can't sign him. Or Leclerc. Joe, Schumacher, Stroll. I wonder... Oh, he's too high rated. He's an 86. We can't sign anyone above the rating of 85. So, Stroll is out now. So, yeah, our options are very limited. Indeed. Very limited. It does look as though Schumacher is going to be the best of the drivers available to us. And there you can see he's slower, but better control, better smoothness, better adaptability, better defending, better reactions, better accuracy, and a face for the podiums. Let's take a look at Zhou. Oh, Zhou is definitely a better option than Schumacher. Pace is a little bit better than Schumacher. He's probably a bit stronger overall, actually. Oh yeah, look at that. He's an aggressive driver though, and that worries me. Because, you know, that means a higher chance of making a mistake. That's why we got rid of Yuki, because of his high aggression. It's just costing us too much in replacement parts. That's one of the reasons I was so interested in signing Schumacher, because of his low aggression, less likely to make wild lunges and break the car. Plus it's a bit more expensive to buy out Zhou in his contract as well. We're looking for somebody with a bit more experience just to try and extract a bit more out of the car. Unfortunately, we've kind of aged out of all the options that would be really appealing. Ocon would have been excellent as that lead driver while we continue to develop Oscar, but he's now aged out. He's 27. Likewise, Gasly, 28, and also too highly rated as well at 88. That's frustrating. It's very frustrating. There isn't really a lot of options for us. I mean, I would even have gone with Stroll. Again, if we do a comparison there, you can see Stroll ridiculously overpowered in terms of stats in this game. 91 control, which just seems a bit ridiculous. 94 adaptability. He is not an amazing wet. He had one good race in the wet at Turkey a few years ago in the pink Mercedes, and that's it. You know, he's not a great wet race driver, but you know, apparently he is one of the very best wet racers in Formula One, according to his stats here, with a 94% adaptability. That's ridiculous. I don't think he's that good at defending either. I certainly don't think he's got a 91 rating control. Yeah, again, an aggressive driver as well, though, so again, likely to make mistakes. But you could kind of temper that with his control rating a little bit. I think we're going to have to consider Schumacher. Yeah, it's going to have to be Mick. Alright, so we are 4 days away from Belgium. I really want to work on his braking still, get his pace stats up, but we need to improve his smoothness because it is just not great. I'm going to have to go back to his pace stats. We need a little bit more pace out of him. Let's work on his braking and his accuracy. That'll help. Any boost to his cornering is always a benefit as well. Wilson, we're leaving on race strategy. Check my confidence with the board. They're still medium. They're still disappointed. Is anything broken yet? Wind tunnel's getting close. We're going to need that upgrade. It's 10 million. I don't have 10 million. Team Hub has now dipped. How much is that going to cost to refurb? 1.2. That we can afford, and that will be ready in time for the next Grand Prix after this one for Zandvoort. Race sim is still excellent. That's good. Operationally, helipad has slipped now. We're not going to get that fixed in time for Spa, but again, it will be ready in time for Zandvoort. And yeah, let's refurb the weather centre as well. Got potential for quite a few wet races to come. Zandvoort's definitely one of them. Singapore, maybe. And then let's see. We might get rain at Monza. We've had rain there before. Suzuka, always a high chance of rain. Not going to get rain there. We might get a little bit at Kota, but it's rare. Same with Mexico. Brazil, yeah. And then pretty much no rain in the last two races. So having a functioning weather centre will help us there. Okay, we've got 1 week to go to our mid-season board assessment. Can we keep our confidence with the board at medium for just one more Grand Prix? That would be nice. If we could get a good result at the next race, just to go into the mid-season break with a bit of a confidence boost, that would be nice. I mean, on paper... Oh, it's going to be a wet race. Look at that. It's going to be wet in practice. It's going to be wet in the race on Sunday. It'll be a dry sprint. Wet quali as well, potential. I mean, on paper, our car should be quite good here. I mean, we've got good straight line speed. We've got a good DRS. We've got good high-speed cornering performance. That's pretty much the entire track in straight line speed and high-speed cornering performance, and a very long DRS zone on the Camel Straight. So theoretically we should do quite well there, but who knows. Acceleration is recommended. We don't really have good acceleration, but we do have good stats in the crucial zones there, top speed and high speed. So yeah, I don't know how well it's gonna go. Let's get that suspension back on the car before I forget. There we go. Just got to hope we don't damage one now. Let's take a look at part details, see what we need to work on. Well, suspension. That suspension is not good, look. That's what's really hurting us at the moment. Airflow's terrible on the side pods, we know about that. Rear wing's in decent shape. Front wing, well, we've got one about to drop. That's going to improve that. Chassis, again, engine cooling and airflow's not great, but the drag reduction's pretty nice. Yeah, we need to do a new suspension when we get some parts available, I think. Right, well, that is it for tonight. We are ready for Belgium. That's tomorrow's Grand Prix. It's a sprint weekend. It's a wet weekend. So, could be a bit of drama there. We could have the chance to maybe sneak into a good position in quali. If we can, with a dry sprint, maybe we could sneak a top 8 if we're lucky, if we do really well in quali. Maybe set us up nicely for a decent chance at a run at points in the sprint, in the main race on the Sunday, which will be wet, at least part of it, if not all of it. So it's going to be an interesting race at Spa. So do make sure you tune in for that one. Usual time, 8 p.m. UK time tomorrow. So until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.